Welcome to Almost Functional Gaming. We aim to help all followers of Russ and the Allfather to improve on the tabletop. List building, tournament recaps, unit reviews, weekly council of the Fang, and other tips to help us all go from almost functional to fully functional. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out our merch store and Almost Functional score tracker on Amazon.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Almost Functional 40K. Here again with Aiden.
What's up, everyone? Hello, fellow Wolf Lords. Hello, Matt. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing this week, Aiden?
Busy. I got some life news. I just got engaged to my
that's right. Yeah.
fiance. Her name's Corey. We had a wonderful weekend away. So I've been focusing on that. Been really happy about that. Now I got some Warhammer tournament coming up. So
yeah, you got a golden ticket event this weekend?
Golden ticket event this coming weekend. Your Hobby Place GT. I'll be there. If you guys want to swing by or playing, come say hi. What's up, Orgdar? That's a
Orgdar. Yeah, Dar. Yeah.
Speaking of GTs, I heard you just had one this weekend.
Yeah, I went to a Grand Onslaught 10 up in Hudson, Florida. Had some heavy hitters there this weekend.
Heavy hitters indeed. We'll dive deep into it.
Yeah.
What did you end up taking to that event?
I took Gladius Space Wolves.
Gladius, the center of the universe. It is a hell of a detachment.
Yeah, it just does. I was really enjoyed it. Just you had, no matter what happened, you had a tool to deal with it.
Rook Captain, what's up? Does that mean he's a member if I see that? Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
Maybe. Let's see.
But either way, Rook Captain.
It does. I think it does. I'm still figuring all that stuff out, but yeah, I believe that means he's one of the, because we got 4 members now at least the other day when I checked. So
awesome. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah, so we definitely appreciate that support, guys, as we continue to grow this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was I took 15 Terminators. I got a couple of videos up on the list, and we'll do some breakdown of this now, but I got some videos. I've recorded some of them, a couple more to record that are going to be, they're up in the member area right now, but they'll be releasing for everybody later in the week. I did a video on each round specifically. I brought the layout up. I brought the tabletop tactics. I went for my score sheet and put it all in tabletop tactics so you can see the breakdown of secondary stuff each round, and I kind of go through kind of how the games went.
That's awesome. And would you say, I mean, you can probably run down your list, but would you say your list is balanced more, leaning more towards melee, more towards shooting? What do you?
It's more towards melee with a dash of shooting, just because I think you need a little bit sometimes just to pop a rhino or an impulsor or something like that before you charge in, so your combat unit isn't charging the transport and actually hopefully try to charge the meat, or sometimes try to kill a screen before so you can charge what's behind it. Just you need a little bit of shooting, I believe.
Whoa, Brian, new member. That is awesome. So happy to see that.
Very cool. Thank you, Brian. Yes. And so what else? So if we want, we'll just do a quick go through of each round. So first round, I played into Chaos Knights. James Zizo. So he had Atropos, Lancer, a Rampager, which is the full combat one, a double Gatling one, then 2 Carnivores, a Beast of Nurgle, a squad of Nurglings, and a squad of Plague Bearers.
Okay, not an easy list to approach.
No, not an easy list, but I think we have a decent game in 2 nights.
Tell me.
All right, so this game actually went kind of weird. So we're playing layout 1. He kind of moved. He got first turn. He moved his 1 Rampager up right there outside the little V that's right outside your deployment zone. That's normally where a good spot where you want to kind of stage at. So then on my turn, I end up charging him with the head takers because I had him marked as my quarry. And I did some damage to him. I held him up. I was still in combat with him. All right, cool. I got him stuck. But on his turn, he ended up not really scoring any secondaries. And I ended up drawing Tempting Target and Aridon, I think it was. it's hard to remember, or tempting target, or Aiden and I in extend or something like that. So I scored like 9 points. So I ended up giving him challenger going into turn 2.
Ooh.
Like I debated not scoring points, and I was like, well, you know what? I could have not scored 4 points to deny him scoring 3 points, and I'm like, you know what? That seems dumb.
Yeah.
So I did it. So he drew the challenger card, and he drew the one that has the stratagem where you can fall back and still shoot and charge.
Ooh.
I was like, oh shit. So he's like, oh, he's not gonna score. So the rampager fell out over the head takers and was all of a sudden in position to charge my home objective.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh, because I thought I had him tied up because they can't fall back. Like I was like, all right, I got him tied up. Any other challenger card would have been fine. He either does something little or scores 3 points. So he drew the one card that actually has a strat that really put me back, because I had I had everything positioned where I was going to be fighting him on the other side of the objectives for the most part.
Right.
And I think I actually win that game pretty handily if he doesn't draw that. So now he's in my backfield. So now I have to come back and fight in my deployment zone. And we're playing search and destroy. And the Terminators, they do move 6, but it's still not that fast. So deep striking them up the board is what gets them in range to really be effective. So
Right.
having to send that all back to kill a Rampager in my backfield before I
Not
could kill
ideal.
Bjorn, so then I wasn't in position to score secondaries as easily. Primary stayed closer because I wasn't able. So it's just like it really, really put me behind the 8 ball. So I was never like in a spot where I felt like I was losing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was never in a spot where I was ahead enough where if dice had gone weird, I failed a bunch of saves. He made a bunch of extra. He could have flipped the game. So I felt
Wow.
like I was ahead, but normally in that game, if he hadn't drawn that, I think I would have been ahead enough where one turn of weird dice would have still been fine.
Why do you say we have a good matchup in the Knights? What are you thinking?
Well, after having some games into them, they don't kill. Well, at least if you're running Heavy Terminator, they don't kill the Terminators very fast.
Right.
And the Terminators in Gladius, you give them Lance. You can still shoot with whatever your Predators, Gladiator, Lancers, whatever you got, your little bit of shooting. Running 10-man Wolfen, they are great into Knights.
Oh, I bet 10-man Wolfen do slap.
Arjak's good into Knights. I'm running him with the 10-man. So the 10-man whittles off 6-ish wounds every turn by themselves, just with mass attacks and looking for 6s to wound if you don't have the +1 to wound. But then Arjak going in, unless it's a Lancer with a 4-up, he's doing like 9 damage himself. So you can kill those Knights in 2 to 3 rounds of combat before they can kill Terminators.
Okay.
So
okay.
And so I find that I haven't had much problem with Knight. It's a grindy game, like you and him are both there, but it takes you a minute to dig through him, but he doesn't kill you fast enough.
Yeah, I think the key for me is you need some shooting to back up your melee.
Yeah.
The melee alone, I don't think does enough
Correct.
to chew through everything. So,
yeah. And this is Chaos Knights because Imperial Knights Canis Rex changes the matchup.
All that 4 damage.
4 damage, critting on 5s, 9 damage in combat. Canis can kill us efficiently. So he skews the matchup a little bit into Imperial Knights. You're going to have to play around Canis or hopefully get your Wolfen. They give you a chance to get your Wolfen and you're shooting on him so you can pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's alive, he can really dig through the Terminators.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So you were okay. All right. Well, we'll get to conclusions later on, but it sounds like you were able to stick the Knights where they couldn't really push past your line, except for that one Rampager that fell back.
Yep.
And you were able to just kind of chew through them over the course of the game.
Yes. Yep. And so then, and then round 2, we went into Eldari.
Okay.
And this was a blowout. He got first turn. He moves and staged some stuff. I drop Arjak in the 10-man squad with Logan's thing. They hit the 9-inch charge into Eldrad's Guardian squad and a Wave Serpent.
No way.
Arjak has inbuilt precision.
Inbuilt rerolls.
And just, and so I just swung everything into the Guardian squad, killed Eldrad. The Terminators killed everything but like 2 Guardians. And because I couldn't get them all in with the way I charged, but I wasn't really worried. So now I have them in his zone. So Eldrad, I think, can give them like +1 to wound or something like that onto a target. Like he does
Yes,
some
and he also gives a CP.
right. So now he jumped Fugan and 10 fire dragons out of the wave serpent I was in combat with. Brought the other wave serpent over, jumped 10 fire dragons out. Without the +1 to wound, all his guys are wounding me on 4s. He
Fours.
shot Fugan and 20 fire dragons into Arjack's 10-man Terminator, killed 4.
Oh my god, that is incredible.
And so at that point, he kind of knew, we both knew the game was over, and it was really just cleaning up Logan's squad. I'd rapid ingress Logan's squad right behind Arjack's squad on his turn,
Wow.
just in case some reason I didn't make 4-ups and he really whittled the squad. And now Logan and Arjack both went in that flank. I sent the head takers over to the other flank, and just he conceded around the top of turn 3, and we just kind of went through the
Wow.
motions after that because it was pretty much
Man,
over.
you're talking about deep striking 450 points with Arjack and the 10 Terminators, and then hitting a charge onto hit in the middle of his army on turn 1. That will just
It wasn't even the
end.
middle; it was on the flank on his expansion
Oh,
objective.
oof. That'll just end in a game right there.
It
That
did.
is
Yep.
just amazing.
Yep. Because he was like, all right, because he hadn't played into the new Terminators yet, and I hadn't had them take that much, but they put all that Eldar stuff in, and I think I mathed it out the other day. I think they should have killed one more statistically, because they're only one shot each. Hitting on 3s with no rerolls.
Winning on 4s with no
4s,
rerolls.
4-up save. So without Eldrad there, I fought Eldrad and went another Eldar list, and with Eldrad, the Fire Dragons were much more efficient in, because
Sure.
they got back to winning on 3s.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, without Eldrad, them winning on 4s, they just do not pick up Terminators.
Wow.
And he didn't have any Dark Reapers, but Dark Reapers have the same problem into the Terminator build as they did in the Thunderwolf build. Flat 3 damage.
Flat 3 damage. There's a lot of flat 3 damage. I'm very grateful.
And I think it's only like AP2 on the
Dark
Reapers.
It is. It is dark. Yeah, they might also ignore cover base, but still you can get 3-ups with Armor of Contempt.
That's what I'm saying. So, Armor of Contempt is big in this detachment. That came in a lot of games. Like,
wow.
There's a lot of stuff that's 1 and 2. Like head takers, AP2 down to 1 doesn't matter. You're still going to a 4-up, but on Terminators, Armor Contempt can be really, really big if they're not AP3.
Totally.
And if they only have 1 activation that doesn't ignore cover, even AP3, if you pop Armor Contempt, you got some guys in cover, you're getting 3-ups.
Yeah, definitely.
So this, and like I said, I think Wolves have a pretty good game into Eldar.
Totally
in
agree.
General, so
they have a hard time chewing through 4-up Invulns, T5, 6 that are Thunderwolves and Terminators.
Yeah. All right, then round 3, we got paired into Eldar again. So round 2 was War Host. This was Aspect Host.
Ooh, this is a close game, a 3-point game.
Yeah, this was Purge the Foe.
Oh, that's hard. Yeah.
Z went 4-1. This was his only loss. I will say, I think he outplayed me by a lot in this game. Space Wolves having a data sheet advantage into this mission, or into Eldar, I believe won me this game.
Okay.
I do not feel like I was the better player in this game at all.
Wow. Tell me more.
So I should have not. I always put my scouts up in the middle in case I draw some secondaries. So I put them up, and he got first turn. And he was able to kill the scouts.
Yeah.
So I gave him the 4 for Purge and lost the scouts. I'm like, that's dumb. And Purge, I should have just put them in the back and been safe. So now I was like, all right, do I just give him the 4, or do I try to kill this striking Scorpion squad he's got in front of me? So we were on, I think it was layout 6 or 1, I can't remember. But so I moved the Predator and the Vindicator to both see the Scorpions, and I oathed them. Jumped the head takers up. No, I think this was layout 1 again. They ran up in that V, and I'm like, all right, so I could shoot the Predator at him, and if he pulls the guys out of the way so that the Vindicator can't see them, then they're going to be right there next to the head takers, where I can charge them in right there into that building and kill them.
Yeah.
And if he pulls away from the head takers, the Vindicator should be able to see him. I'm like, all right, cool. And so I shot them. I killed like 2 or 3, and he's like, all right, I'm going to do my reactive move. And I know they have a reactive move, but I wasn't factoring it, but I'm like, all right, that's fine. I still should be fine. as long as he doesn't roll really high. So he rolled a 5 and was able to move them just where the Vindicator couldn't see them.
Ooh, that's hard.
And then I should have, at that point, just accepted it. All right, I'm going to be down 4 here. I think he scored 4 on one of the other things. Maybe I'll get a challenger card in a turn or two to balance that 4, get a 3 to balance if I'm down 1. I'm like, all right. But instead, when he was running the Avatar, which was really, really big in this game.
Whoa, Avatar.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I charged my Wolfen out of their staged building to kill the last 2 or 3 striking scorpions.
Sure.
And then his shooting picked up all the Wolfen on his turn. And they were really my best answer to the Avatar.
Hmm.
So later, when the Avatar pushed middle, I fought him and started fighting him with Terminators. And at half damage, T11 or whatever, Terminators do not deal with him efficiently.
Nope.
He was smart. He popped Precision and went after Arjak. Did 5 wounds to Arjak. I failed 1 save, rerolled it, made it.
Ooh, that is choice.
Shoot, yeah. So Arjak swings back, does like 6 damage to him.
Mm-hmm.
So then a turn, like the next turn, so I charge the head takers over. He's my target now. I kill most of him. Then he swings on Arjak's squad again. This time he kills Arjak. But then when the Terminators swing back, they are able to finish him off.
Wow.
Whereas if he had killed Arjak on his first swing, the first time when he did the 5, because he does like D6 plus 2, like there's a good chance he kills Arjak if I failed that 1 save. Then if I don't roll a 4 up, Arjak doesn't fight. And now that Avatar might sit there the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So our data sheets and then that 1 round of my save spiking ended up flipping that game enough for me to still pull it out.
That's the one thing I'm curious about with Terminators. They do a lot of good work.
Yeah.
Damage wise, I'm a little concerned about their damage.
Yeah. You need to be able to charge to get Lance, which helps. Logan and Arjak help. So they basically keep Logan and Arjak alive so they can keep doing the 3 damage. The Relic Act is 3 damage, and that's strength 7, so it's wounding a little better most of the time. It does dev wounds. The guys really, against like Knights and Avatar and like Tyrannifex, stuff like I fought Crusher Stampede last night in a practice game. They chip in a couple wounds to help, but they're really just keeping your damage dealers alive there. But if you're positioned right, you're fighting on the objective, and hopefully you have enough bodies that you're controlling it while you're beating at each other.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Unless they have a Norn that counts as 15, but that's a whole different.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that helped me out there. But yeah, I should have kept the Wolfen back, and I could have moved the Vindicator out another inch or 2. Because barely stuck his Dozer Blade out on layout 1, just out past that edge where he could see the guys.
Sure.
And then when he made the roll past the that little V, now just that little point that the Vindicator couldn't see around that V. If I'd moved him out another 2 inches or so, I would have still been able to see them, and then I wouldn't have had to charge the head takers out of the other V, or the Wolfen out of the building. So I could have positioned better. And then once I realized I made that mistake, I should have not have sacrificed a 200-point Wolfen squad. That is my best thing into the Avatar, because they wound them on 3s, and half damage takes their 3 down to 2.
Yeah.
Which is still pretty efficient into him.
Yeah.
So I made some mistakes early in that game that I feel like Dice in our data sheets bailed me out, because I do feel Z really outplayed me in that game.
Yeah, totally. What's up, Craig?
Normally I crush Eldar on similar player skill. I think we beat Eldar pretty handily.
Yeah, I agree. So how did this match end up? It seems still very close. You were grinding the Avatar out in the middle.
Yeah.
How did this kind of come to a conclusion?
So we're both getting hold and kill every turn. After round 1, I got kill more turns 2 and 3. And then turn 4, I believe we tied, but I got hold more. And then turn 5, he got kill more, but I managed to get hold more.
Wow.
So he actually beat me pretty handily on secondaries as well. I just beat him a lot on
primary, purge the foe,
which will do into Eldar.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Whew, close game. So you're 3-0 at this point.
Yeah,
Going into
3-0
day two.
going into
That's
day
a
2. So I was,
that's an achievement in itself, man. Congrats on that.
yes. So I was pretty happy about that. Because I felt like, oh, I'm playing well. It wasn't until I started doing my recap that I realized how much Z actually outplayed me in that game and how much I actually got a little lucky.
Okay.
So it's like, all right, because I was wondering, it's like, man, normally I learn close. I was like, why was that so close? And as I started going back through and having the layout up on the screen as I was walking through the turns in my head, I'm like, why did it throw away a wolfen squad to kill 2 or 3 scorpions to get 4 points?
Yeah, it's little things like that
Because I
that
was
can.
just thinking, oh, I can't get behind, but with challenger cards, you can get behind a little bit.
Yeah, I
And
think the
even
thing I'm
so,
learning is,
even if I
yeah,
never got to challenger, having them go in and pick up the avatar, the Terminators are free to go other places. And even if he never gets up enough to give me a challenger, I think I dig back and start. I think I'm holding more often because the avatar being in there in the middle stopped me from getting hold more a turn or two,
wow.
even though I was getting kill more.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
All
And then,
right,
so
round five,
then, yeah, so then going into day 2, round 4, we played
round four.
into Lee Zagrebski with Adeptus Custodes.
Ooh, this looks tough for you. Tell me about this.
Yeah, so he was running Canis Rex, who I did not realize with 380 points now.
He is stupidly undercosted.
Dude,
I mean, compared to like Angron.
I've been
Oh,
fighting the urge to take him when I thought he was still 450. At
yes,
380, my list I tested last night has him back. Like at 380, I dropped the Predator and the Vindicator. That's 320. I got to find 60 points to go from a Predator and Vindicator to Canis. I'm like, I don't see how I don't do that.
who shoots just as hard, is way more durable,
And
and
can combat way better.
obliterates anything in combat.
Yeah, that little bit we're talking about, oh, we have trouble punching up, we have to grind through. Hey, one shot at a Norn last night, got 2, got 9 damage wounds through,
Insane, man.
Yeah,
It's just yeah, too cheap. And we'll talk about as the fifth round comes around other
yeah,
armies that are too cheap. But anyway,
yeah.
this tell me
And
about this game.
he's great into Death Guard,
He's
which Lee and I
amazing in
talked
Death
about
Guard.
during our game. And because
Mhm.
Lee actually went 2-0 into Death Guard. He's the guy, he went 5-0 and won the event. He went 2-0 into Death Guard. Both the lists he were built were the exact mirrors of Steve Trimble's Tacoma winning list.
Wow.
The Hammer Mortarion, triple Plague Burst Crawler, triple Death Shroud.
Well,
Really, yeah, it's really brutal. So in this game, he had Canis, so he moved Canis up, and I think I was a little too scared of Canis because I sent the Wolfen and Logan squad in to kill him, and I did kill him, but I ended up losing the Wolfen squad and Logan's squad in the clapback. So for 380 points, I gave away, what's that, 370 for 480, which in my mind, I'm giving him a 30-point advantage. I didn't realize I was giving him a 100-point advantage
Jesus.
because I didn't know Canis was 380 because I haven't looked at him since I started prepping for ATC because I had someone running Knight, so I couldn't run Canis. So and then the new book dropped, so I just haven't even looked at Knights.
Mm-mm. Well,
Uh,
that's the thing. You almost need to commit like 500 points to kill a 360, 380 point model.
yeah,
So like that's just how it is with knights,
yeah.
unfortunately.
And then he has another captain guy that does flat 4 damage, which is really good in Terminators.
Mm-hmm.
But turn 1, I drew dead on secondaries. He scored decently. He pushed his one. He had a captain that was running by itself that had a. I don't know if it was his rule or an enhancement. He has a thing where he can, if he dies, he gets up on a 2-up,
Mm-hmm.
and another thing where he can once per game for a whole phase make everything 1 damage.
Ah, yes, that is an
I know
impediment.
one's a rule, one's an enhancement. I can't remember which is which, but he moved him up to the middle to score. I don't remember what he scored to score something. But then I drew area denial,
Oh no.
and there's no way to shift that guy. I was like, all right, I oathed him. I shot at him. He popped to the 1 damage. All right, well, I'm not killing that one. So even if I charge him and kill him, he's standing back up on it. So it's like, basically I was tanked on secondary for like 2 turns, and then I committed too much to kill Canis because he wasn't in a good spot to get a lot of shots on me. I could have maybe tried to kill some other stuff and just because he's elite. He had 2 Alaris 3-mans, the ones that jump up. He had 2 bike squads with captains. He had 2 girl squads, and he had Canis, maybe one other. Like he didn't have a lot of stuff.
Right.
So I think maybe I should have just ignored Canis and went after everything else and just let Canis do some stuff because he can only be in one place.
Sure.
I think maybe I threw too much away to kill Canis, and then he had too much. Then he started having a resource advantage, which is bad with Custodes because that's normally their weakness.
Yeah.
But basically, we're both just. I'm basically Terminators that are hard to kill. He's Terminators that are hard to kill. He, with Canis and his 4 damage guys, he just kills me more efficiently. I kill him.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's a good matchup, even if I don't make any mistakes, because that's designed for this meta. It beats Knights. It beats Death Guard. So probably can beat us. And Lee is a top-level player, obviously 5-0, beating 2 top-notch Death Guard list. So he
Yeah.
probably could still squeak this out on me because he had Canis if I'd left him alive or have to sacrifice him to kill him. But I made it way easier on him than I should have.
Yeah, that is just a really tough matchup. It seems
Yeah.
like he just all of his data sheets do well into all of your data sheets.
Yes.
Like it just is tough. Even the custodians are all like strength 7, 2 damage, you know,
Mhm.
and some and depending on what attachment you can get +1 to hit and wound. So they're like wounding everything you have on like 3s and 2s, and then it's like the massive 2 damage wins out. And then Canis Rex just kills anything he
Yeah.
shoots at. Not anything, but like
Yeah.
the 4 damage is incredible into space wolves.
Yeah, and then all his stuff being like T7, so everything's wounding him on 5s.
Mm-hmm.
They're like 4 wounds. Bike's like 6 wounds. The character's like 7 and 8 wounds. And then with the bikes, he's faster than me. So it's like we're both hard to kill. He's got a speed advantage. I'm not saying we can't beat this game. I'm saying it's a tough
Yeah,
game. And into somebody who is at least equal player skill, you can't make mistakes because this isn't the
totally.
type of game where you can dig back because his units are just as hard to kill as our units.
Totally. Yeah, the bikes are fantastic. They're such cool units that they can bounce, they can move 12 after any combat. So you
Mhm.
charge them, you probably don't kill them. They'll do a number of damage, but they'll move 12 into your lines once per
Mhm.
game. They can re-rack that ability. So they can just move like 36 inches in a single turn and kill 2 things, and then they can totally swing the game on its head. So you have to be
Oh yeah.
really careful with the bikes and the captains. Really, yeah, very interesting list to play against. Mike's got an interesting point of discussion. Beast Slayer, this is why Beast Slayer is the way to go. Custodians and Knights to take and fail saves. Yeah, I think Mike's got a good point here. Lethality is really helping me win my games. Not jankiness, not, advancing farther, not crazy shenanigans, like just kill them. I think it's actually the way that I'm leaning.
Well, I found in most of my games, the advance in charge is big. The fallback in charge is
Big.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 CP everybody fights on death is come up really big into some matchups.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see
Yeah.
that. I think if I would, I'm trying out Ironstorm currently. I'm going to release a video this week. Members,
Mhm.
well, it'll be members only for a couple days, but it'll be released to the public. I'm taking to the GT an Ironstorm list that I really like, and then I might look at Beast Slayer or maybe even Hunter. I mean, +1 hit
Yeah.
and wound is very solid against a good number of
Yeah.
targets.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think lethality really just killing stuff. You don't need to fall back in charge if you kill most of what you touch.
Yeah, that doesn't work too well with Knights. Even with lethals, you're not killing them in one round.
Exactly. It
Same
does
like
take a while.
I played Crusher. There's a Crusher Stampede in my local meta. I've been playing a bunch. Same thing there. There's so many games where before I started running Gladius, when I was playing Champions of Fenris, where I can give them lethals, where I'd get in, not kill it, and be stuck there. Whereas there's a game I specifically lost where if I'd have had fallback in charge and I could have fallback in charge onto the other objective, I would have just won the game.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat. Our melee is good, but it's not like
Yeah.
mind-blowingly amazing. There are some stuff, even with lethals and lance and oath, that we
Mhm.
just don't kill in melee.
Yep. Yeah, because like if anything that's -1 damage or half damage or -1 damage,
2 up save with AOC,
yeah,
just a lot of wounds at T10 or T12.
yeah. So yeah, if you Beast Slayers more, just push forward, roll stuff, make them take saves. Gladius I find, if you're a good player, can is better than Beast Slayer. There's just more tools in your toolbox. You can play the game longer. You stay alive. You can fall back. You can charge. You can advance and shoot with your shooting if you need to. Fight on death, lance, armor contempt, which we don't have with Terminators. The armor contempt is so big. We
So
have no
crucial.
access to that in
Mhm.
art attachments. But after I give Gladius a while, I'll probably jump back to Bold because I know not a lot of people roll Bold. I know you're probably going to mess with one of the others. So
Yeah, I'm thinking
I'll,
Hunter or Beast
yeah.
Slayer.
So I'll give Gladius a run for a little bit, and then probably up through Nova because I tested it here. Nova's the end of the month, and then I got Crucible coming up in September. So we'll see if I want to try to switch between the two GTs because I only got like a week or two. So I might run Gladius through Crucible and then jump on something else.
Oh, whoa, we've got a viewer from the Philippines, 6:30 a.m. It's so awesome to see worldwide viewers.
Yes, it is.
Good to see
And
you, Noel.
yeah, and I want to go see the Philippines, like Vietnam. Like Kurt and I've been going to Thailand. He took me the last 2 years, but I want to get to some more of the countries around there.
Yep, we got a few German viewers, a few
Yep.
Australian viewers, Philippines. That's amazing.
Yep.
Welcome.
Cool. All right, and so then our last round. You remember how I mentioned Steve Trimble, who wanted to come open with Death Guard?
Well,
Look.
there you go.
Yeah, so they ended up with 3 undefeateds going into the last round. So he paired down and I paired up. So I was playing into one of the undefeated players in round 5. I don't have a lot of reps into Death Guard with New Wolves. So basically, I got first turn. So turn 1, Arjack Deep Strikes in.
Whoa, Riss, we've got a new member. So good to
Nice.
see you. Wow, that's
Yes, thank you.
awesome.
Yep.
That
Yep.
is
The
so
members are
cool.
growing.
Totally.
Uh,
Anyway,
yeah. So drop Arjack's unit turn 1 kind of safely. He had one little bloat drone thing that could see them and shoot them, but they weren't eating a lot of shooting. Then on my turn 2, I dropped Logan's squad in. I jumped the head takers out of their transport. I moved Bjorn up. I'm like, fuck it. I don't think if. Oh
whoa, whoa,
wow,
whoa. What do we got here? That is awesome. Riss is coming in hot.
gifting memberships. Yeah, that's our first gifted memberships in here.
That is so cool. Reese, thank you so much. Yeah, we love putting out wolf content. It sounds like it's well received.
Yes.
We're very happy you're here.
Yeah, yeah. And we love talking wolves. We love, playing wolves. So it's just really, really nice to just have people appreciate what we're doing. It just makes it
Totally.
feel real nice.
Yeah, we're gonna keep putting it out if you guys like it.
Yeah.
So, back to your Death Guard game.
Yeah. So I basically move everything up to set up a bunch of average length or long charges. I'm going to just charge everything into his line. If I hit most of this, he's probably not going to be real happy. And let's see if this Death Guard can dig out of it. If I fail most of these, this game's over.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was going to be a tough game anyway. I think I lose if I don't hit all these. Going first, going second, I probably could have played more patient, but I was thinking going first, I'm like, all right, he's got end of turn advantage. I drew dead secondaries again, so he was up on secondaries, not enough to give me a challenger, but then he also had end of turn advantage.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't think in the Death Guard going first, I can overcome those two things just by playing a patient game.
Sure.
So I'm like, turn 2, I'm going to set everything up, and then we're either going to be in his line, tying up the plague burst, killing this character, everything, or we're going to lose kind of big instead of trying to grind it out closer.
Yeah.
And the only charge I hit was one into a Poxwalker squad.
Oh, bummer. That
Yep.
sucks.
And so then, surprisingly enough, the Terminators just stuck around through the clapbacks. Was killing stuff, and so honestly, this game ended up being closer than I thought there for a while. So looking back, now that I saw how well the Terminators tanked his damage, we may have a better game into this than I thought. The Death Guard of the Boogeyman. So I think maybe I got a little in my own head. Plus Steve's one Tacoma, he's really good player. So I think maybe I got into my head thinking I just needed to go for a Hail Mary.
Yeah, I do wonder how to play this matchup. You were telling me about this Mortarian's Hammer list. It is just a bunch of indirects, Plague Burst Crawlers, bunch of tanks, and then 3 Death Shroud, which just kill anything they touch.
And 3 10-man Poxwalkers that screen the middle, so that stop you from, if you don't have anything to... Luckily, I had scouts, so I got to drop first, so I was able to clear our middle line, which is where I was able to move stuff through to try to get the charges. But he can just keep you from getting to him for a couple turns with those Poxwalkers.
Yeah, it feels like if you play the slow game, he's going to chip you down very significantly with the Plague Burst Crawlers, and then just 6-inch Deep Strike with a couple different Death Shroud units and just delete anything that comes forward. And then by that point, you're so much down on material, you've lost the game. Well, so you can't really play a passive game against this.
Especially with Hammer, where he can pick 2 units that he can Deep Strike 6-inch on that are in your backfield. So it's like really, really... So you got to try to sit back and try to screen, or do like I did. I'm going to take his backfield so that he takes my backfield. We're even.
Yeah, that's tough. I think I would also play this game very aggressively. Like, get into his tanks, touch everything as much as I can. And then, like, the Death Shroud are just going to do Death Shroud things. But just do as much damage as you can before they come down. Push them back as far as possible. Again, 6-inch Deep Striking, it's near impossible to screen.
And then the Chip Mortals suck, so they can conventionally whittle down your Infiltrators if they wanted to go that route, and now you got to send something else back to hold your backfield.
Sure.
So it's just really interesting matchup.
Totally. Wow.
Right, so we ended up. Let's do this. So our last 3 games, Lee, Steve, Z, all finished in the top 6.
1, 2, and 6.
So we were Z's only loss, and neither of these guys lost to anybody.
Wow.
So my opponent win percent, strength of schedule thing or whatever, that's how they were breaking tiebreakers, was 69 points on, basically 70% win percent for my opponents for the round.
Crazy, man.
For the tournament. But then we ended up in 9th. Not bad.
Very solid showing.
Yep. I was hoping to go 4-1.
Right.
And when I got the 3-0, I was like, all right, cool. I lost to Lee, and I was like, all right, that's cool. I can play another 3-1, and then I paired up, and I was like, crap. And at that point, I probably was in my own head, like, oh, I already lost. Now I'm playing a 5-0 or a 4-0. So I probably shouldn't have Hail Married like that. I probably should have played it more honest, just to get info for myself and everybody.
Right, maybe delay one more turn till you can push more effectively or something like that.
Shorter charges,
But I still think you're right in that you needed to push, but because you can't just sit back. They're just going to piecemeal you apart.
Yeah, and I was just hoping to get in before the Death Shrouds came in.
Totally.
But that was my weekend. 3-2. Could have easily gone 4-1, I think.
For sure.
But I'm happy with the list. I'm changing it a little bit. I'm playing around with putting Candace back in. I'm also playing around with going to a 3rd Terminator squad and maybe getting rid of the head takers. But
wow. So tell me about some takeaways.
Terminators are just super hard to kill.
Right.
Every single game, even the ones where I lost, people were just annoyed at how much it took to deal with Terminators.
Sure.
Wolfen, great in the meta right now because you got Knights, you got some big Death Guard stuff. But into like Eldar, if they're not running the Avatar, and like Gene Stealer, Call, Orcs, anything like that starts taking over where it's like horde bodies, 2 attacks each, they really kind of elite infantry and vehicles and monsters, they're good.
Yes.
Anything below that, they're really kind of subpar.
Yeah, they're amazing into their preferred target
Yep.
and horrible into anything else. I mean,
Yes.
even 5 Marines, like 5 Wolfen into 5 Marines, I'm going to bet on the Marines to survive, and the Wolfen don't have OC, and you're not flipping
Yep.
a point.
I mean, yeah, the regular Marines won't kill them back because they're T6.
Nope.
And also T6 with only a 4-up regular save, 2 wounds, and no -1 to wound, they die way easier than I thought they would.
Sure, they totally do.
Especially compared to the Thunderwolves and the Terminators. This felt like they were made of paper.
Yeah. Yeah, they do tend to die pretty quick. I mean, they're not easy to kill, but
Yeah.
Terminators are on a different level of survivability.
Yeah. So I find like they're more like Wolfen used to be a hammer. They're a scalpel now. So you have to get them into the right thing. You can't just run them out in the middle and be like, all right, 10-man, 6 T6, 4-up invol. I'm going to tank it. You're not going to tank it as well as you think. So I still like them, especially in this meta.
Yeah.
If Knights and Death Guard go away, maybe I put that 200 points into something that's better into like infantry if that starts taking over. But in the current meta, I still like them. But I've learned I need to be patient and careful with them. They need to be protected.
Totally. Yeah. I also like them as a 5-man skirmish, recognizing that they are not going to kill stuff. They're there more to just disrupt your opponent's game plan.
Yeah.
They're maybe, send 5 of them in to tie up Terminators. Maybe they'll live with 1 or 2. They'll kill 2 Terminators. Send 5 of them in to just go charge stuff or block space or just gum things up.
But I find at 100 points, I'd rather just take another Thunderwolf squad to do that.
Oh, I'm already maxed on Thunderwolf squads.
Well, if you're maxed, I'm not. So it's like, because like I find Thunderwolves do that better. Like that 10-man brick is there to pick up 1 Knight, 1 Norn, 1 something, and then go away.
Yeah, you do need some answer to really durable units, Knights especially.
Currently. Yeah. And anything that's 3 damage, even if it's not a monster vehicle, if it's T5 or 4, they're still wounded okay.
Yeah.
And every failed save is a dead guy. So they're still decent into that. But running them into a 20-man boys squad, they're not going to get their points back.
Nope. I ran them into, one of my games that I was playing against Zangor spam. I ran 10 of them into 20 Zangors and they killed like 5. And I was like,
Yeah. And Terminators, amazing for 170 points. And 340 for 10. They're so durable.
Yeah.
Neg 2 damage. I mean, they struggle to wound some of the bigger stuff, but when they get through, it's decent damage, and even big stuff doesn't clap them back too well unless it's got like Lance or +1 to wound.
Yeah, they'll stick around. They kind of grind through things. You can get really aggressive with them turn 1, which I like.
Oh, you don't know how annoyed my opponents get being like strength 18. I'm like, cool, you're winning on 3s.
Doesn't matter. Strength 20 doesn't matter.
Oh, strength 9, cool, wounded on 4s.
Yeah.
It's like, so Terminators, I loved the Terminators. Logan Arjak, great.
Good.
Head takers, even with the priest and +1 to wound, just we're kind of underwhelmed by them. I don't think they really stood out in any game. Dev wounds, cool. You're only doing like 2 to 3, and people probably failed 1 or 2 of those saves anyway. So you're only getting like an extra 2 to 4 damage into. So it's like, it's really, the dev wound sounds great, but without a way to trigger it better than on the 6, it's okay. And then being a 6-man, only T4, only 1 game did the priest get to bring a guy back?
Yes, they're so fragile. T4, 3-up, 4-up, 3 wounds. I mean, any moderate unit points at them, they evaporate really quick.
Yes. So little underwhelmed with the head takers, even with the priest. I've tried them with the battle leader, tried them with the priest. If I'm going to run them, the best way I liked running them was with Ragnar, because they had the built-in advance in charge, and Ragnar just hits like a truck. But I think that 170 is going to go into another Terminator squad.
I kind of agree. We talked about it earlier. I think head takers have not been making the cut in my list recently, but they don't synergize with my detachments. Stormlance and Ironstorm have been running. Even in Gladius, where they love fight on death, they love Lance, they love advance and charge, they love extra AP. Like, I don't know. There's a case. I think 3-mans with a battle leader still very solid, but like
Yeah, if
big
you want to run those
bricks,
3-man, that's a little bit
like
as
suicide
another
missiles, you
good
know?
brick. Yeah, but so my thoughts are now is dropping the Predator and Vindicator for Canis, which I need to find 60 points.
Yeah.
Drop the Head Takers for the Terminators. So then I drop the Priest and the Impulsor. So that gives me the 60 points I needed to finish getting Canis, and 90 points I threw in a JPI squad. So they can run out and do a little actions and stuff you need to. They do the charge mortals. They got plasmas. They can throw a grenade, which is something we do not have a lot of access to.
Right.
There was a couple times I wanted to try to throw a grenade with head takers. Like, oh yeah, I don't have Ragnar in there. I can't.
Oh,
And I'm pretty sure I didn't look it up. I'm pretty sure our Terminators can't throw grenades. So it's
nope.
like,
It's
so
only
this,
Ragnar, Ulrich, and the battle line, I think, that have grenades. And Thunderwolf Cav. Thankfully, Thunderwolf Cav have grenades.
oh, Thunderwolf. I didn't even look at that. All right, so that's good. No, Thunderwolves have it. The
Mhm.
JPIs have it. My scouts throw grenades a lot. So now I have that access to grenade and mortals on the charge. In my game last night, I was running them. They jumped out. They grenaded a lictor, charged it, and killed it before having to let it do its fight first.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
The Terminators are one of the most beautiful kits. I just
Yeah.
finished painting mine. Oh, they're gorgeous.
Outside characters, I'd say Terminators are the best thing on our book.
I kind of agree. I think actually Thunderwolf Cavalry and Terminators are tied for me. We rated Terminators kind of like, I think it was B or A tier when we did our tier list. I think they're higher.
Oh yeah.
They do work.
What's the problem with doing a tier list before you really, really get games in with stuff is sometimes putting it on the table, you're like, oh, just like Wolfen. I wasn't sold on the Hammer Wolfen, but after putting them on the table, especially in this current meta, I really, really like that 10-man.
I really do like them. I don't think you can go all in on Hammerwolfen because they do fall really flat against the wrong target.
One 10-man. After my one game with them, they did well. I was like, oh man, I should run two, and then I played a squad game into mostly infantry, and I'm like, oh no,
They do nothing.
one's the spot because
Yeah.
I can have one unit that's bad in certain matchups, but I can't have two units that's bad in certain matchups.
Yeah, totally. They'll like the 10-man, 200 points will charge a 50-point guard squad and kill like 6. And then you're like, fuck. Ugh.
Yeah, because it was nice last night having them in Canis because now I have two units that are good at killing big stuff. Canis went and killed a Norn. The guy I've played before, I did 30 damage to his Norn last time we played before he got his saves, Feel No Pains. So he's like, all right, so he charged them with a Maliceptor. Killed like one or two, and then on their clapback, when he charged me, they did 12 wounds to the Maliceptor.
Oh, no.
Then I put them in tactical, jumped around him, charged the Norn. Actually whiffed into the Norn this time, oddly enough, but then had two of them trail back into the Maliceptor that only had a couple wounds on it.
Wow. They're just they're really good at what they do. Yep. I'll say that. They don't need oath. They hit on 3-0 1s. They just do what they do really well independently.
Well, it depends. Anything that's got like 16 to 20 wounds with a decent save, you need oath for them to hopefully try to fully kill it.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious. You still, as wolves, need a plan to deal with big stuff.
Yes.
Durable stuff. And sometimes it takes the form of vehicles, so you can take Wolfen, but sometimes it takes the form of 6 Death Shroud, dropping and killing something, and then I got to deal with these Death Shroud. They're in my army. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, like what your plan is going forward. It sounds like you've got some shooting in Canis plus a heavy melee.
Yeah. So the Death Shrouds, the main first plan is don't let them be able to charge Canis. Make sure you use infiltrators or whatever to screen them from 6-inching Canis, because flat 4 damage shots and flat 9 damage combat are the best thing Imperium has for killing Death Shrouds.
Yeah.
It's also really good at killing Plague Burst Crawlers.
Mm-hmm.
The Terminators, after having played into it, it's not the greatest match for them, but Death Shroud can get bogged down there.
Totally. Especially with Vex, because they really do want like rerolls.
Mm-hmm. Especially my 10-man. My 10-man held 2 Death Shrouds up for a couple rounds of combat.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
I'm proud of that 10-man. Those Death Shrouds are not easy to hold up. They chew through so much.
Oh, yeah. because on his charge turn he gets lance. That's when he does most damage, but he can't fall back and turn. So once they're engaged,
Mm-hmm.
they're like strength 7 or 9 or no, they're strength 8. We go down to T4, so they're wounding on 2s. You take it to 3. The turn they charge, they're wounding on 2s.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
But they're only 2 damage, so it takes 2 to kill a Terminator. You hit your 4-ups. Like,
Yeah, you can
you're not.
also AOC if they don't choose the
Yep.
save contagion.
Yep. And then us being 2 damage is fine into them because they're 4 wounds. Our 3 damage is kind of wasted from our characters in our.
It is. It is.
Yeah. So, and strength 5, we're wounding them on 5s, but we're making them take their 4-ups every 2, and they've only got 3-man squads. So it's not the greatest matchup, but it's not the worst thing either. So like we can bog those things down.
I agree. It's definitely a grindy game with the Terminators. They're not going to like cleanly wipe any big unit when they come in.
Well, they can kill large units. They can't kill hard to kill units.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Like, because with 16 attacks from even the 5-man, 16 attacks, then 3 from the sergeant, and then 6 from Logan's dogs. And if you're fighting anything that's 1 wound or anything, you go with his 10 attacks. So like that'll kill most of a 20-man orc squad, if not all of it.
Yeah, and it's
where
really nice.
Where they get stuck is into like other elite infantry.
Totally.
Like, yeah, I don't think we'll have a problem with Horde because we're hard to kill and we get a lot of attacks.
Yeah, wolves do well into medium and small targets. That's why Eldar is never a problem for wolves.
Yep. And the big stuff, if you're fighting big stuff, just know it's going to be a grinding game. You're going to hit them. You're not going to kill them in one shot, but they're going to kill you in one shot. So you got to make sure while you guys are fighting, you're controlling the objective, either keeping them off or just having more OC so that you're scoring the points or at least denying them the points while you guys are grinding that out.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so you still liking Gladius, it sounds like. It's a very solid attachment. I don't think you can go wrong with Gladius.
I like all the tools it has. I gave Fenris a good run, so I'm going to give Gladius, a month or so, a couple events, because I'm going into Nova and Crucial, which are 2 big events, so I don't want to be jumping between stuff between. I like the way Gladius performs. I'm going to try to tweak it. I got events like almost every weekend going up through Crucible. So I got a little RTT this weekend while you're at your big GT. And so I'm just going to keep tweaking the Gladius. And then after Crucible, we'll jump onto something else. Refine that down until we think that we have the best we can, at least out of my play style and the way I like to play. Probably both. And then we'll see what I feel like jumping onto after that.
Yeah.
Because I do want to slowly take time and go through all of them, give them a month or so, take them to a few events.
Try out the space attachments in earnest. I really do think there's some diamonds to be found, you know what I mean, in those attachments.
Yeah. And there was a few times during this tournament where I was like, man, I missed Champion the Fenris. I wish I had 2 OC on all these Terminators.
Honestly, if you're taking that many Terminators, just having extra OC standing on points, because it's going to be a grinding game anyway. If you can get them onto the objectives, just sit there and just get OC, Yeah.
The problem was when they get bogged down, not having the option to fall back
and do stuff.
Was the real downfall of that detachment.
Yeah.
If you're running smaller squads, it's not a big deal. When you run the 10-man with RJack, and you hit something big and they stick, all of a sudden you need help somewhere else, and the thing you're fighting really isn't that big a threat, but you're stuck there. You either have to fall back and do nothing for a turn, or just stay there engaged with something you're grinding into, and you're like, man, I'm not getting through this thing. So I'm liking having that fallback in charge.
I kind of agree. It gives you a lot of outs in some bad scenarios. I'm playing a lot of Ironstorm, and so far I have not been super punished with getting tagged everywhere I don't want to get tagged.
Yeah, because you have more shooting. So if your combat units are holding stuff up, it's fine. I don't have enough shooting. Those are my damage dealers. So if I need to go kill something off objective, go get an assassinate, go get a bring it down when I'm fighting an infantry unit, I don't have that option without fallback in charge.
Yeah, here's my theory on Ironstorm, why I think it works really well. And I'll go into this in my in-depth video this week. We talked about our melee a second ago. Our melee is good, but not amazing. I think our strength comes in our good melee and good durability.
Great
Like,
durability. I'd say we have
yes,
good
great
melee, great
durability.
durability is
Yes,
our biggest strength right now.
totally. I 100% agree. We have amazing durability, really fast, just able to get places with very durable units. My theory with Ironstorm is I'm taking a lot of MSU durable units like 3-man Thunderwolf, 3-man Thunderwolves, like 5-man Wolf, and Terminators, just like really durable units that can get up the board really quickly, that can do damage into medium and small units with a lot of shooting to back it up. So I've got 4 tanks, 2 Iron Priests, plus some incursors. And the whole theory is that um, our melee is good, but we need to crank that damage to 15 sometimes. And our melee, even in the best attachment, can only go to 11 or 12.
Sure.
And I'm finding that with Ironstorm, I do have the damage to just push through things with like lethal sustained 5s on a repulsor executioner, or 3 shots hitting on 2s. Like that just pushes through things.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then my whole theory is like Ironstorm does have its weakness. You can't fall back and do stuff. You can't advance and do stuff. But we have fast data sheets. We have turn 1 deep strikes. We have 12-inch moving or 9-inch moving units, 7-inch moving regular guys, and 6-inch moving Terminators. We have fast units. What I really also like to lean into is MSU. So even if that Thunderwolf squad does get touched by a Rhino, it'll do like 2 wounds, 4 wounds to a Rhino, and then just sit there for 3 turns. It's only 100 points. So, I'm not investing on these huge 10-man or 6-man head takers with, whatever, 6-man wolves or 10-man. Like, I'm going to acknowledge that whatever's going to get touched is kind of not going to do a lot unless it's a vehicle, which can then just shoot down into combat.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my whole theory. So far, it's working out well for me. But
I
I'm
think
sure
with
it's going
that
to be tested.
shooting behind it, that's a really good strat. Just like that's kind of what the Death Guard do with their Poxwalker list right now. Is like, I'm going to keep you in front of me fighting little throwaway stuff while all my shooting just eats you.
Yeah. And it's kind of, yeah, except our throwaway stuff is like T6 with a 4-up invuln and 3 damage melee. So it's not like throwaway as in Poxwalkers. It's like, wait a second, I have to commit a real unit to kill those 3 Thundercav. And then as soon as I commit a real unit, it just dies wherever it gets, it exposes itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my short rant. I'm going to go into much more detail in the Ironstorm video. I do think we have a lot of play with heavy shooting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, wolves have a lot of versatility. You can go shooting. You could go all melee if you wanted to, drop all shooting. I think you need a little just for the versatility, but threaten something on their backfield before you can get to it. Like, it stops them wanting to poke their shooting units out, which helps your stuff survive and be able to stage better.
Yes, that's been a big benefit of Ironstorm because I've got the blank damage and these huge tanks they can maybe shoot back. I can be super aggressive with all my deployments, and that way I don't even need advance and charge because I'm already deploying 6 inches farther forward.
Yeah, that'll find. Yeah, when we go combat only, all those tanks and stuff that they have that are out of the game for a turn because they don't want us to shoot them, all this right there on the line with looking down all the firing lanes.
Every single firing lane. Yeah.
So you get shot for another turn or two. So it's like just having that little bit of threat really makes most people be cautious with their tanks.
I think in the end, I may try all combat, but I always find that a good amount of good shooting, like 500 points at least, is like almost necessary for me.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Bjorn.
it's sad. Yeah,
I didn't get into Bjorn, but Bjorn, the extra CP is just so nice to have all the time. And his double flamer, especially in the Eldar games, that Overwatch is great.
It's so good. That Overwatch is amazing.
Yeah, and then I overwatched a Custode Captain on 2 wounds and did 2 wounds to him, but he made both saves. But he was scared for a second. He's like, "Oh, that flamer's 2 damage." I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh yeah. Yeah, Bjorn's good. I have been taking him in and out of my lists recently, especially in lists that want to use a lot of CP. Gladius. I think
that 2 CP fight on death and like all the strats are good.
Right.
A lot of the times you're wanting to pop one doctrine, but one of your units, like I did that a bunch of times. All right, I'm going to advance and charge, but one of my units engaged, so they want tactical, or most of my army is engaged to go tactical, but this one unit isn't, so they're going to advance and charge.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing with Gladius. in order for it to be a good
Yeah.
attachment, you need to spend a lot of strats.
Now, I even did one turn where, all right, Bjorn's going to advance and shoot his flamers.
Hmm,
Put him in dev doc.
that's funny. Extra
That's the only
AP.
thing about Gladius with my new build. Bjorn's my only shooting unit. He's the only one that's really going to activate, get any benefit from dev doctrine.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, but that's fine. I don't. In my other list, it was him and the 2 tanks. I normally pop dev doctor in the game just because I was like, well, I guess it's still here. I really
Yeah,
just use assault and tactical.
I do like Gladius. It can kind of turn the shooting damage to like 11 with the ignore cover, extra AP, advance and
Yeah,
shoot, fall back and shoot.
yeah.
But man, let me.
But the tanks I was bringing, everything was AP3, so really didn't need it much.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, most
But
of the
that
time.
could be funny on a turn, popping that on Bjorn with his flamers.
Mm-hmm.
So now they ignore cover +1 AP. Now they're AP. Well, they are ignore cover, but taking both flamers to AP2, that could be really juicy.
Kind of solid. I'll give you a spoiler. I played Bjorn and Ironstrom a lot of games, and he was good. He was very solid.
Yep.
I dropped Bjorn from my most recent list for an extra Vindicator. So I went from 3 tanks in Bjorn, 3 shooting tanks in Bjorn to 4 shooting tanks.
Yeah.
I lost the CP. I lost a little bit of melee late game. I think I'm better off for it. At least,
Yeah, if you don't really need the CP for 170 points, someone that sits back most of the game and only comes out end game, yeah, you can find more. If you only bring him if you need the CP, and then he's a nice little buff at the end of the game. But no, putting that 170 points somewhere, like, there's nothing wrong with that if you don't need the CP.
Yeah.
Only bring Bjorn if you're a CP heavy detachment. He's not
Totally.
worth bringing if you don't need the CP.
Yeah, I think where else would you take Bjorn almost auto take? Would it be Bold? Because Bold has so many amazing
Bold has
strats.
2 that are 2 CP. Yep.
Mhm.
And just depending on about if you're playing games and you're finding like, man, if I could just do this one strat, then you may need to find Bjorn.
Yeah,
But
I do.
if you're running Bjorn and at the end of the game you're finding I still have 4 CP, like, what do I like? I guess I can do a strat because I have so many CP. Then you can probably put that points elsewhere.
Totally. Yeah, I do have to be a lot more, tight pursed without Bjorn as far as CP goes. Maybe I'm not rerolling the throwing a grenade. Maybe I'm not tank shocking. Maybe I'm not like rerolling the advance or something. I do have to be careful with the CP that I spend.
Yep.
Here's an interesting thing. This is Horde Space Wolf, something that we haven't really explored fully.
Well, I talked about this. If he's running Beast Slayer, I thought Horde Bloodclaw and Wolfen and Beast Slayer would be a good build.
Yeah, I mean, Blood Claws are amazing at everything that Wolfen are not great at killing.
Yeah, and they put out so many attacks with lethals. Wolfen, getting those extra 6s on the hits, that's less, so they'll get more wounds in. They do have an efficiency problem with only 2 attacks apiece, so that does help them there. So they get a little more through.
Yeah.
So no, if I felt like building and painting 60 Blood Claws, I would play around with this. This sounds like fun.
Honestly, I might try this out. That would be a very solid, like just almost like Green Tide, but like Wolf Tide, and they do damage. Like Blood Claws with lethals, that many attacks. The Wolfen with lethals, reroll 1s, that many attacks. Like,
yeah.
And
he's running the priest and stuff, so lethal and +1 to wound on those big units.
And then you have, yeah. You have Wolf Priests, 12-inch OC bubbles.
Yeah, Gary. That's what I say. Like, that sounds fun to me. Playing, I am not a big fan of painting. So building and painting 60 Blood Claws, and I've only got 10 Wolfen, so I'd have to get another 20 Wolfen. But if you ever want to once you get it all built, if you let me borrow it, I'll run it.
Mm-hmm. Blood Surge is great. They don't mind standing in combat because they just get lethals all the time. They can just +1 to wound in combat. They don't even need to charge. They just get +1 to wound. So like they don't need to fall back. They advance and charge all the time. The reactive move and Blood Surge with that much OC, that's honestly really cool. I love that list.
Right. And a Blood Claw's not hard to kill. Yeah, true. But there's 60 of them.
There's 60 of them and 30 Wolfen.
Oh yeah, and take the enhancement for AOC against shooting on one of them. Yeah.
That is so cool. That's another avenue to explore. We talked about build balanced lists, heavy shooting lists, heavy melee lists. What about Horde.
Yep. That's what I said. Beast Slayers where Grey Hunters and Blood Claws could shine, just because Lethal Hits loves a massive amount of attacks.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Oh, I didn't realize we still had this up. I don't need to leave this on the screen. See these people that beat me. We don't like those people.
Boo. Yeah.
All right. Well, now we're in 5 now. Anything else you want to get into, Aiden, or any last questions from anybody in chat?
Yeah, I've been prepping for this GT. Like I said, I switched off Stormlands for Iron Storm just for more damage.
Yeah.
Whoa, Gary. He wants us to buy all these Wolfen and Blood Claws. That is so generous.
I appreciate it. I got 20 Blood Claws maybe? I bought 2 of the boxes, so they're built. They're not painted. I haven't built the Grey Hunters yet, but I have 20 Blood Claws built. So maybe I'll put a 20 Blood Claw unit and get them painted, and then we'll work on getting some more.
That is so cool. Honestly, I'm gonna try out the Horde list you just mentioned, Gary, on TTS, and if it does well, you might make me paint.
No, I think that's good into a lot of things.
It just like can overwhelm your opponent. It's really fast too. Oh,
yes, there is a Discord here. Let me see if I can put that in this chat real quick.
But yeah, I'm just prepping for my GT. I don't know if Iron Storm is amazing. Yeah, Gary, please send it in the Discord. I don't know if Iron Storm is amazing. I don't know if it's only okay. I really just want to test it out. So it could just be like an okay detachment, and maybe I'm going down a rabbit hole and I'm not really getting anywhere. But I want to flesh it out as much as possible. I want to take it to a really competitive event, see how it does.
Yes.
Wow. Well, thank you again, Gary. That is very generous, and I will at least test that list and see how it all does. Land Raiders. What do you think?
What kind? Like, I still think Redeemers are decent. They're a little expensive. Just that Flamer Overwatch is really, really good. Once the Knight Death Guard meta goes away, because they're not really scared about that Overwatch, and we get back to a more of a normal meta, I think Redeemers will be worth taking again. The las cannons aren't bad into the Knight meta now. They fit a decent amount of stuff into it. Crusaders, I'm still down on. They do hold a lot, but just Hurricane Bolters are really not that good.
Yeah, and back before the Iron Priest nerf, the las cannon Land Raider was actually solid. You know, an extra multi-melta hunter killer, 2 las cannon shots was like quite solid.
Yep, and you could have, I'm not sure how many spaces Wolfen take up in there, but yeah, you could put one of those big Blood Claw squads in there. You could put Terminators in there, Head Takers, because I think it holds 14. You could actually, because I did this with Blade Guard before, back like last year and stuff, had 2 Blade Guard squads with a character each in the Land Raider, and they could basically move the Land Raider up and go 2 different directions out of it.
Yeah, the Redeemer seems like is what he's running. It's just very solid.
Yeah,
It's
because
a
I
little
believe it holds
hostile.
14. Yeah, so you could go double Head Taker with double Priest, or Priest Ragnar, Wolf Battle Leader. You could even go double Parrot at that point, because the Land Raider's hopefully protecting them till they're ready to go in, and then they just whack at stuff. Like,
they're very solid units. Your opponent's going to have to play around, and then like you mentioned, the meta's a little hostile towards big stuff.
And one of the reasons I stopped running them was our tournament organizers around here seem to like to do layout 1 with search and destroy a lot, and Land Raiders can't move through that middle gap, so it takes them a turn or 2 to get into the game. So honestly, that was the reason I stopped running them more than any other reason. Just on those, at least one mission every tournament, he'd take an extra turn or 2 to get in the game, because he has to go the back way around the objective, and I just didn't really care for that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm running Repulsor Executioners to good success, so I think you can run Redeemers. The thing that I'll say, we have a lot of durable units, so it kind of plays off of the durability of big tanks. You can't be so like careless with them, but yeah, they definitely have space and play. What about advice for a 1K match?
Yeah, I just posted a list for that. I don't know if that was in the Discord or on Facebook somewhere. Someone asked for a 1K build. I'm trying to remember what it was off the top of my head. If you're in the Discord, Noel, post there. I'll try to find that list I built for somebody yesterday or the day before, and I'll share it in there. I can't remember it exactly off the top of my head, but I'd say a lot of Terminators. You maybe probably don't need Bjorn in a 1,000-point list. Maybe even not that much shooting in a 1,000-point game.
Maybe one decent tank.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I had him take a 5-man Wolfen in 1,000. I didn't go the 10-man. And then like Logan, Arjak, each with like a 5-man. And I don't remember exactly how
I
filled
think a
up the rest of
Thunderwolf
it.
cavalry squad, a 3-man
Oh,
or a
definitely. No,
2, could
definitely
be,
at least. There was definitely at least one. I can't remember if there
yeah,
was
it could
two.
be really great at 1,000 points, you know. Awesome, Gary. We'll check out that list in general chat. And I'm going to put it on TTS at least once, and I
Yes.
think it might. I'm actually excited to play that horde list. Oh,
Oh, well, real quick.
sorry. The Ironstorm list. So let me run it down really quick, but I'll get into all the nuances.
Yeah, he's
of
actually
it.
going to be doing a more in-depth video on it later in the week.
Yeah, it'll release to everybody later in the week, but members can see it a couple days early. I'll post it probably tomorrow. So the Ironstorm list is, top of my head, it has 3 HQs: Logan with 5 Terminators, 2 Iron Priests. One of them has a pick a vehicle, gets lethal hits. One of them has a blank damage. Both of them are incredible in Ironstorm, especially the Iron Priest. I have skirmishing units. I have 5 Shield Wolfen, 5 Shield Wolfen, and then 3x3 Thunderwolf Cavalry. I have 5 Incursors, so it kind of is like Second Oath. They scout. I have 5 Intercessors for the home. I have a ATV because I only had 60 points left over, so it's just something to go do stuff. Then the big beef of the list is the tanks. So I have a Repulsor Executioner with Laser Destroyer, Repulsor Executioner with Laser Destroyer, Vindicator. And so far, that list has been proving very solid into a number of matchups. I'm really happy with it. I'm really excited to see how it does at the GT. But I'll talk about strategy, why everything is in there, why I took everything in the list breakdown tomorrow. I'll hopefully post that tomorrow.
I wish I could see people's faces when they look at their pairings, like, oh, Space Wolves, and they look at your list and like, what the fuck?
What exactly? People
That's
don't
not
know.
combat. Yeah.
People don't know what to do,
Yeah.
into it. And so it's been quite successful so far. It's also been just intimidating,
Yeah. Edward, any idea what kind of Tyranids? If it's Vanguard or Subterranean or Crusher, those are 3 completely different games, and so they would be completely different advice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we're okay in the Tyranids, honestly. Subterranean Assault's been a little difficult.
Oh, so he thinks it's sub. So Infiltrators?
Infiltrators, amazing.
Fenrisian or Hunting Wolves if you want to screen the front line to make them have to come in and kill those first. And then just Terminators because they're durable enough to tank if they do get into you.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe some shooting behind it to kill it as your screens slow it up.
Yes, that's been the most successful thing that I've found. Elder's Guidance. Oh my gosh, that's actually a very good call on that 20-man Bloodclaw with a Wolf Priest. Once per game, extra AP on all of those chainsword attacks with lethals and +1 to wound. That's really solid.
Oh,
I like that a lot. Anyway, we had a great show today. I'm really happy.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for the memberships, the gifts, the super chats, like all that stuff. Like, you don't know how much that means to us.
We are thrilled to have you all engaged. I mean, Wolves are still really fun to play. They're in a great spot. They have a lot of different builds.
Yeah, because for like the last 2 years or 3 years, however long I've been doing this channel, it's been at a loss because really it's bringing no income as we were paying for all the stream and service stuff. And Aiden just volunteers his time every week to come in and talk with me. So
it is fun.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. So my goal is eventually just to have this channel break even. So because I just enjoy coming here talking, just so it's not actually costing me money to come on here and run my mouth.
Yeah, Gary, message me in the Discord. I'll post in the Discord after you post your list. We'll link up on TTS, so I can show you how to do it. And then Riss is saying WTC streams today. There was Olivier Weiss who won War Masters last year, and his team won WTC. Took a Space Wolves listed to War Masters, and yeah, he was running a very interesting list. Gladius, by the looks of it, today. I don't know if you saw that, but it was on War Games Live. It was like a couple tanks, 10-man Terminators with Arjack, Logan, a 20-man Blood. I think it was a 20-man Blood Claw with Ragnar, and then a couple Ballistas and Predators and Iron Priest. This is pre-Iron Priest nerf. But
oh, right, they ran everything before that.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
It's a very interesting game to watch. I think he was playing Eldar, and he was just like taking him to town. So,
Well, yeah, we crush Eldar, especially pre-Iron Priest nerf. Like,
oh man,
I wish I
yeah,
could have taken that to at least one event.
I know they didn't even let us take it to an RTT. They were like, no, 0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Aiden, for watching. I got starting tomorrow. It's going to slowly start rolling out my breakdowns game by game of the tournament. Aiden's going to have his Iron Storm coming up here soon. Some of those tournament breakdowns are already up for members, but we'll be back next Tuesday as always. And thank you guys for watching.
Thank you all.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you for watching Almost Functional Gaming. We appreciate the support of all followers of Russ and the Allfather. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out our merch store and Almost Functional Score Tracker on Amazon. Everything helps support the growth of this channel, and we appreciate it.
All right.